Welcome to 5 Habits of, and today we are joined by the brilliant Vicky J. And Vicky J is going to be talking to us today about 5 habits for turning your content into leads on LinkedIn. How are you doing today, Vicky?
Hello, I'm doing very, very good. How are you?
I'm good. The day is flying. The caffeine is pouring, so I'm having an amazing day. So do you want to tell us a tiny bit about yourselves before we get into these 5 habits?
Yes, absolutely. So hi, everyone. For those who you don't know me yet, I'm Victoria. I am a LinkedIn personal brand strategist and developer, and I am also a client success manager in the program known as Content to Clients. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.
Awesome, brilliant. Okay, so we are going to get straight into it because it is a Friday afternoon, and the whole point is we get this done and we get back out into the world. So what is habit number 1?
Habit number 1 is the content itself. So you want to make sure that your content speaks to the right audience and that it resonates with your audience. So there's a big mistake I see online that people think that any type of content will just do it. Wrong. You want to cover 3 stages in your content. You want to cover the top of the funnel content, which will attract the people to you. So this type of content applies to more people in your audience. It is often it's highly personal, and it just allows people to get into your world. Second is the middle of the funnel content, where you actually share your expertise. It's the type of content where you actually show why you are the expert, why people should listen to you, and you give people actionable tips and advice as well. So once they read something, they can go away and maybe even implement. So that's the value-packed content you might have heard online. And the third is the bottom of the funnel content. So you want to make sure that you make offers in your content. It's not salesy, it's not sleazy, anything like that. You want to make sure that you let people know that you have something absolutely incredible available for them and a way how they can reach you. So make sure the bottom of the funnel is not neglected, and that people know. So this is the first one.
Okay, cool. So it's about making sure we get a blend of those posts going out. So it's like a personal story. So there's going to be lots of Christmas stories as well. So Christmas things heading out, what you're seeing and what it actually means to you. Would that be a top of the funnel one where you're talking about just getting that general interest into you? And then...
Exactly. That is a great example of one. So what are you doing on Christmas? Potentially, what's your plan? How you're planning to relax? Often, maybe it's, I call them the universal topics as well. So how people perceive Christmas, right? They're the workaholics.
Yeah.
Not saying I'm one, but people who will spend the Christmas and will just work on their strategy and so on. And should you maybe work on the strategy or should you just take time off? It's a very controversial, but yet a topic that applies and includes more people. So yeah, that was a great example you made.
Okay, cool. And then a middle one for me, so that'd be things like if I was to do a carousel on burnout. So like these are eight signs of burnout, something like that. So people get to know a bit that this is stuff I know and care about and I can help you with.
Exactly. So it can be that, but it can also be like, this is how you deal with burnout. So they can actually go away and be like, okay, so I learned this today and I learned that from Mike. And now I can actually implement and maybe make a tiny little tweak. It doesn't mean that you should give all your secrets away, even though, there is no one that is going to teach it exactly the way you do, right? So, and there is so much more included than just telling people this is how you get through burnout, for example. But if you give them maybe one tweak, that's going to help them remember you because, I implemented this. It has completely changed the way I go through with my day. And now I know Mike has given me that tip, so I'm going to come back for more because that has worked for me.
Cool, got it. Okay, and then that smaller bit of the funnel is that really talking about the offering. So for me, it'd be the productivity pod. So actually talking about that and not too often as well. Would that be right?
Correct. So definitely you want to reference the offer, invite people in, tell what's included, all the beautiful things that come with your offer. But as you said, it's not something that you can post every single day without a break, right? So for example, personally, for what has worked best for me is running in more of a campaign. So 2 to 4 weeks, I'll run top of the funnel and the middle of the funnel content. And then I'll double down for 1 to 2 weeks on the bottom of the funnel content when it's really focused on the promotion and really talks about the benefits. So I like to look at it from like a bigger perspective and then do bit by bit until we get to the end. And then I kind of recycle and maybe do something around that again. Or sometimes it will be 4 posts that are top and the middle of the funnel and 1 post that is the bottom of the funnel per week. So that's just an example. But yeah, make sure that you're not just, this is my offer, buy from me. This is my offer, because you're going to just become very boring.
Absolutely. Cool. Got it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Right. If that's habit number 1, what's habit number 2?
Habit number 2, community. Mm-hmm. So when you're creating your personal brand, when you're posting on LinkedIn, and when you're active on LinkedIn, you want to build a community of people who know you, like you, and trust you, right? People who are in your network and are coming back to your content because they enjoy that. People you have a relationship with. People who are maybe potential customers as well, but they are not at the point yet where they are ready to buy, so you just need to nurture them more. So community is created through, it's not just the comments, because people often approach comments of like, I have to comment to create engagement. No, you comment because you want to create relationships. You want to show people that you care. You want to show people and maybe add to their thinking, right? So if someone posts a post, you might post something about burnout. I'm not a burnout pro, but I might actually add my point of view or my little piece of nugget, something there, right? So you want to make sure that your community is all about you caring for them as much as they care for you. It's not just, I have to do this because it's part of what LinkedIn Gurus has prescribed.
Yeah. Okay. So that really sounds like it's, as much as you're doing your outbound stuff on LinkedIn as well, you actually have to engage with other people and actually start to build those relationships with genuine engagement. And I think that's probably one of the challenges that because trying to comment lots, which is some of the common wisdom, it can become quite flat and quite samey, because what can I say?
Yeah.
Actually, one of the big...
and I see so many people go through this feeling. And I had moments when I went through that. But what people forget is it's a conversation. Just if you are in a networking event, just if you are having a coffee chat with someone, you need to be yourself. So sometimes it might mean that you are going to make a funny joke in the comments. You don't always have to be serious and always deliver value in every single of your posts. Sometimes you want to have a little bit of fun. Sometimes you want to be the smartest person in the room. And sometimes you just want to echo whatever someone else have said, right? Yeah. So it's that authenticity that is brought to the comments that people forget.
Cool. Got it. Right. Love it. Love it. Love it. So habit number 2 was that. Habit number 3, what are we going to talk about?
Habit number 3, your connections. That ties very closely to the community. So don't just wait around until your followers number grows, right? It's great. We've all seen it. But actually add people intentionally to your network. Go out there, use the LinkedIn searches. Search for people who fit your target audience. Look for people who... If you are working with coaches, look for coaches in different spaces so you can have a conversation with them. So you can bring them closer to you, so then they can see your content. Plus, they can you can create a relationship with them through the comments and add them to your community, right? So connections is the 3rd habit.
Okay, cool. And when it's connection, is it kind of just connect with anybody?
No. So absolutely don't connect with just anybody. So first reason, I know you might be thinking, oh, I have like 1,000 followers, maybe 5,000, but the cutoff on LinkedIn is 30,000 connections. Once you reach 30,000 connections, you're not allowed to add anymore. Now, you might be, as I say, you might be thinking, oh, that's too much, I have time. Yes, you might, but what happens as well with connections, if someone follows you, then they'll see your content on their feed. But if you connect with them, if they are not your target audience, your feed will be all messed up because you'll be seeing content from the person who is not in your target audience, who you don't really want to have in your community. So you'll be wasting your time just scrolling and it'll be all very messed up. So make sure that you're adding the right people. And if you want to get down to numbers, I would say the minimum, add 5 people per day. That's the bare minimum. Just search through comments, likes, anything that works for you. Just add and find 5 people that would fit you into your target audience.
Nice. Okay, cool. That all makes sense. Okay, we're halfway through. So what is habit number 4?
Habit number 4, the most undermined habit, and that is conversations. So many people focus on creating the perfect content, nail their engagement, and they have found they're authentic and they're doing great. They do connections every single day. But when it comes to DMs, it's a mess. They never speak to people. They never reply. They never actually even say hi in that. I'm not saying go out and send and pitch slap every single person you DMs. Please don't do that. Just go out and start a conversation. Be a human. Start interest. In the networking event, you probably wouldn't come up to someone, hi, I'm Victoria, I'm a LinkedIn personal brand strategist, and I can do X, Y, Z for you. The price is this, let's have a chat. You probably wouldn't do that. You might, but please don't do that. Okay, cool, I'm not interested, bye. So start a conversation, see what they are working on, what excites them. Is there a collaboration opportunity, partnership opportunities? What's in that relationship that you're nurturing in the conversation? And when they feel like, oh, actually, I'm struggling with this, what is your tip? What could you do for me? Then go in and like, actually, yeah, let's have a conversation. Let's hop on a call and see if we are the right fit to work together. But please don't skip the steps, and please start the conversations in the first place. Like, DMs are not scary. The most magic will happen on the DM.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So it is about those genuine conversations. It's funny what you're saying about that. If you go networking, you wouldn't just go and pitch that to someone. I was at an event yesterday, and I had 2 types of conversations. There's conversations where people obviously wanted to build the rapport, and they came and they had a chat and, hey, why are you here? What's going on? What do you think? But there was also another set of people that just had autoplay in their head. They'd practiced something and they were just blah, blah, blah. We can do this, blah, blah, blah. We do that. And they hadn't got a clue what I did. And it was really crystallized it in my mind. And when you said that again in the DMs here, it's about the, hey, how's it going? What's going on in your world?
Exactly. And I'm not trying to shame any cold outreach. I think cold outreach can work perfectly as well for some people. But when you are building a genuine LinkedIn presence and you want to create and curate your community, you want to become known for something, have a personal brand, if you go every single day and send 10 pitches to people who you never spoke to before, it's going to damage your personal brand rather than help it.
Yeah. And I suppose that's more about that. You might get lucky with one cold pitch, but actually you're going to do more. You will get more value and more growth and more sustainability from building those relationships. Because it might be a not now, but there might be something in 6 months. And actually, I really like talking to them, and they do that. So I'm going to go back and talk to them. So it's about planting those seeds.
Exactly. So I would say definitely it depends where you're at in your business. So if you really need a client and so on, yes, you might double down on the cold outbound or cold outreach for a little while. And you might want to use email for that rather than your LinkedIn. And then, yeah, that can work perfectly. But if you are really on LinkedIn and you want that long-term strategy, consistent clients coming to you rather than you always having to do cold outreach, and you want to build a personal brand, be known for something, seize opportunities online, whether that's podcasts, what we're having live right now, where you came to me because you saw something and you thought I can bring value to your audience. Maybe it's a speaking opportunity, whatever that looks like, right? But if you want to have those people coming to you, you have to put in the work and you have to be a little bit patient, which I know I hate. We all hate being patient. I'm the worst at that.
Yeah.
But it's very important because I have clients who we spoke probably 6 to 8 months before they actually decided to work with me. I had clients who decided on the spot, like, yeah, we need to work together because I need the help. But I also have clients who waited 6 months before they reapproached me again after we had our first conversation.
Nice, cool. Right, got it. Love it. Okay, what is the final habit number 5 that we need to think about?
So habit number 5, we actually touched it a little bit in the previous habit, and that is the mindset. So with mindset, I'm not going to tell you persist, resist, and just keep doing. Of course, it is a part of that, and you have to be prepared to be patient and to put in the work even when results are not showing up or not showing up immediately. But just be aware that it's not the best strategy that to go from nothing or to and wait until you're perfect. Because if you wait until you're perfect, you'll never start. I'm 2 years on LinkedIn consistently, almost every single day, and I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. So just start and improve. And again, don't try to include all the advice you ever heard on LinkedIn. Start with one piece. And then once you're comfortable with what you have, add on and add on to that and keep adding on and keep improving step by step and show up imperfect, because we're all imperfect humans after all. Whoever tells you it's perfect, just run away, because no one is perfect.
Cool. And I think that's really key, actually, putting those small steps in, because you can come on LinkedIn and if you hit the people that are doing it well, you'd be like, oh my God, I'm never going to get there. And it is about the small. I think my first step onto LinkedIn was thumbs upping posts, and that seemed like a massive jump, like because you're putting yourself into the world. And then it was that's great comment, and then it was a post, and then it was a post with an image, and then it takes that time to build that momentum as well, doesn't it? And actually, that's sustainable. Not going, I'm going to post every day, and everything's going to have an image, and I'm going to write all the.
So exactly as you said. So, and these people who think like, oh my God, like I need to be perfect because I need to blow up on LinkedIn from my day number one. It's very unlikely that that's going to happen. And I actually know someone quite well who started on LinkedIn. Their first post was an introduction post. That was right at the beginning when personal branding was just becoming a thing on LinkedIn. One post on LinkedIn, introduction post went viral, had over 1 million impressions. That person ran away from LinkedIn for 1 year or so because they got so overwhelmed with the visibility. They just couldn't handle that anymore. So that is one situation. And situation number two, do you really want people to see those imperfect posts, or like as many people to see your imperfect posts at the start? You also need to come on there. You need to start building the relationship and start getting better. Like if I scroll back to my first posts, I cringe so badly. But at the same time, I'm just so proud of me 2 years ago who just took the plunge and did it anyway. Even though it was cringe, even though I literally was laughed at by my very close friend that I put some content online and that I call myself a freelancer, I was laughed at, right? And now when I look back, it's all part of my journey. It's all that I started somewhere and I just kind of kept going, kept improving, and it just worked out amazingly.
Cool. I love your resilience there. And I think that also points to one of the other habits you're talking about is the community. So like that friend, are they part of the community you need to grow your business on LinkedIn?
Exactly.
And it's like you have to grow those people that want to come on your journey. And
exactly.
Yeah,
it's one of those, like if you're on your first date, you're not going to try and get engaged and get married, or at least I would expect that. If you are meeting someone for the first time, you're not best friends straight away. There is certain kind of process you need to go through. They need to get to know you, what's in it for them, right? Because essentially you're showing up as a thought leader. You want to be known for something and that you can help with, right? So there is that. They need to first get to know you, then they get to like you, and finally they get to trust you. So it's all going through stages.
Right. Love it. Okay, cool. We're done. So let's have a quick recap of those 5 habits. So habit number 1 was?
Content.
Habit number 2?
Community.
3?
Connections.
4?
Conversation.
And number 5?
Mindset.
Amazing. I love them. I love the clarity you brought today. So thank you so much for bringing that. If people wanted to find you in the real world or in the digital world, how do they find you?
The best place is literally LinkedIn. I am on LinkedIn. If you want to know and get into my closer circle, you can get on my newsletter as well. I post newsletter. Usually it's between 2 to 4 times per week, but 2 is kind of the minimum. And you can get to know me more, get more tips. But I'm also on Instagram if you're a big Instagram fan. And on Instagram, I'm under Vicky underscore, it's LinkedIn _with _Vicky J. But yeah, LinkedIn is the best place to find me, definitely.
Cool. Okay, I've got 2 more questions. Question number 1, how are you spelling that Vicky on that Instagram profile?
So it's VIKY.
Yeah, okay, cool. Perfect. And if people wanted to work with you, you thought, actually, I've seen enough and I want to come and do some work with you. What are you working on? How can they work with you?
So we're 1 week before Black Friday. So as it usually goes, I have a special Black Friday offer prepared. And I am gonna run a workshop next Thursday, the 5th of December. We'll start at 10:30 a.m. It's 2.5 hours, and we're gonna be diving into my 4 C's framework that I actually shared today. Nice. So content, community, conversations, and connections, all of that is included. We're gonna actually dive really deep into each one of them. And the workshop is called Turn Content into Cash using LinkedIn. So nice. I think that gives loads away. So if you would like to join us, so for right now, I'm capping the spots at 10 spots. There are 2 people who sign up for now. And if you want to join us, just DM me workshop, and I'd love to have a conversation and send you all the details.
Amazing, brilliant. That sounds so exciting.
And now, Mike, actually tell us what you are working on. I would love to know.
So I mentioned it earlier. So in January, I'm launching my productivity pod. So it's a 9-week productivity sprint. So you can build something for your business. So it might be getting a newsletter from an idea out into the world. It might be actually building out your LinkedIn process. So you've done all the guides, you've read everything, but you just can't work out how to bring it to life. I'm running a 9-week program to help people do that and actually give them the productivity habits that I have to put things into the world. It's really exciting. And if people sign up by the end of next week, they get three free coaching sessions with me to reflect on 24 and actually work out what they want in 25 as well. So they can come in and land in that first week of January and just start smashing things out into the world to be super productive. And I'm really pumped. I've got 3 or 4 people that are wanting to join. So I want to make sure I find the right people to get a small little community of people to help really drive that forward. So if people do that, they can DM me and I will absolutely love to have a conversation with them to help bring that to life.
That sounds absolutely amazing, honestly. Like, productivity is something that all of us business owners can slack off because there is always something more interesting to do, such as cleaning the house.
Yeah, and that's actually half of it is actually looking at why you don't do things, actually getting into those conversations. So we look back at your plan for the week and say, why didn't you do that? Go, well, I had to clean the oven. You're like, did you? That's procrastination and calling out those procrastinations, but actually building the strategies long term to stop it as well. So it's more than just creating your newsletter. It's actually putting in things that work. So it's really exciting. I love watching people grow in it. It's amazing.
That sounds awesome, Mike. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much for giving me your Friday afternoon. I hope people enjoyed watching it. If you want more of this, there is you can obviously follow Make Your Habits on LinkedIn, but there's also the YouTube channel. Come find us in there. All the, I think 32 different lives I've done this year are on there. So you can go look at the playlist, either the 5 habits of Ops Up Inside Your Head. You can go and have a look at those and catch up on the conversations. Thank you very much.
Thank you.